Yeah, I'm doing good.
It's
How are you?
good. It's been some time since we last spoke,
Hey,
but I'm excited to be here. And yeah, it's something that, I thought that would be nice to like just figure stuff out about. So amazing.
you're at home?
Yes, I'm at home. I have a bit of packing to do in some time because I'm traveling to Karnataka. So I am taking a program for 47 students in Karnataka related to marine ecosystem, ecology, and sea turtle nesting and stuff. So
I'm also at home. So
okay.
after this interview, I'll be watching movie.
Nice, nice. I wish I had that luxury today, but no, I don't have it. Yeah.
But
So yeah, go ahead.
since the school time, when we used to read the maps of India, so I used to
Yeah,
Goa is comparatively very small compared to other states. So
yeah.
I always wanted to visit in Goa, but till now I could
Hmm.
not visit Goa. That's in my bucket.
Okay.
And also, like, though India is a peninsula and it is covered by oceans on three sides, but
Yeah.
only beaches which are famous is that's of Goa. Other beaches
Hmm.
never heard of. So
Yeah.
since you are from the Goa state, and it's been nice that I'm talking to you about Goa from you only. So
Hmm.
first of all, what I can ask, please tell me about yourself and how beautiful Goa is.
Okay, so I'll give a very short brief about like what I do or what I am. So I actually didn't come from marine biology background, but right now I'm fully into involved in marine biology and marine conservation. So yeah, so I've done like my specialization in neurotoxicology and cancer biology, and I decided to intern in a place called WWF in Goa, Worldwide Fund for Nature, and basically over there I got across cetaceans, dolphins, basically, and like with fishermen, I would work when tracking them using a citizen science platform. And from there, like the realm like completely opened up, and from there I started like working with another organization where I used to do rescues of sea turtles, dolphins, and seabirds, and also help out, the veterinarian in any type of like treatments, any necropsies, like postmortems, to find out the cause of that while doing research. And along with this, I have also developed a own interest of the intertidal space. Intertidal is basically the space between high tide and low tide area in a beach. So normally when we go to the beach, we always keep thinking that, it's just the sand, water, and sometimes you see some shells, and then you see sunset. So most of the people, including me, used to go to see sunset. So somebody, like a friend, a mentor, he decided to like take me onto like a intertidal space and show me a lot of marine life. So the same way, what I have understood and what I have learned and what I have seen in Goa, the beauty of Goa is that a lot of these places are overlooked when it comes to intertidal, and also a lot of animals that we have in our ocean is far more than we expect or far more than we think. Like we get like animals such as orcas, killer whales that come through the waters of Goa. We get bright whales. We have a lot of dolphins, for example. We have a lot of other fishes that I never knew that, Goa had. And because of this, I say that Goa is quite beautiful. And there are five different sea turtles that we find in India. So five turtles. And in total, in the whole world, there are seven turtles. And from that seven turtles, from that five turtles in India, we have four turtles that we come across in Goa. So Goa is, I mean, at this point, a lot of people have understood that it's beyond beaches. But in the beach itself, it is more than just, lights and music. It has so much beautiful animals like crabs, sea cucumbers, and various different smaller animals just roaming about and living their life. And I feel like that is the side of beauty that I see in Goa. And I truly appreciate that side of it. And I would definitely love you to come and join for one of these programs or some of these activities because you said that you would love to come to Goa. And I think that you having this image of Goa and of marine life in general will change your perspective or change how you think when it comes to Goa.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually I also want to see all the wildlife. You mentioned we have turtles, dolphins, then crabs, sea cucumber. I don't know what it is, but I really want to see it.
I
Actually,
think you should, because the funny thing is that the first thing I ever saw in this intertidal space was not a crab, not shells, or not understood any of these things. It was a sea cucumber.
okay.
And surprisingly, this sea cucumber looks like a small, like real cucumber, but it's found in the intertidal. But the crazy thing about it is it's highly protected like the tigers.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can
it's so
imagine
rare.
you get to see. Yeah,
Okay.
it has a high protection like tigers, just that sometimes it's overlooked or it's not observed that often. Because who will think like a something such tiny thing will be like, needing protection like how tigers do. So yeah, that's something that I would say, is really amazing to kind of look at or think about when it comes to marine life.
Yeah.
Along with that, we also have great terrestrial diversity. I think we have the ghats, we have a marine ecosystem, and we also have grasslands, and we have forests, various different kinds of forests found in Goa. So I think it's become like a big hotspot for
Yep.
wildlife in general. And though we are a very small area, not to compare, but we get to see a huge amount of density compared to other states surrounding us.
Yep.
So we have Karnataka and Maharashtra that itself will be more than 1,000 if you combine, and Goa is like only 110, 120 kilometers of coast.
Yep.
And we get to see a lot of more animals wash up or come across. And maybe it could be like a way of being a bit biased, but from experience also, I would say that, the marine life here is teeming with like a lot of like curiosity, like a lot of curiosity from them, from marine life, and that curiosity also comes from outside, so it becomes like a give and take thing from
Yep. That's why
this.
there is so much tourism in Goa. Uh, Actually, whole India want to come to Goa at least once in their life.
Yeah.
So surely when we go to Goa, we want to enjoy the beaches, we want to enjoy the sunset, we want to enjoy the vibe of Goa. So what tourist has given to Goa in return?
So I mean, there is a good side and the bad side to this. Unfortunately, the negative side would be that because of tourism, I mean, because of unchecked tourism, there are a lot of times, you know, things that happen that don't really qualify as like beneficial for like the biodiversity.
Hmm.
Like, for example, a lot of it is something to do with waste management. So, because of an influx of lot of tourists, what happens is sometimes there is unregulated waste dumping or unregulated uh, waste management, which is again not like something that cannot be solved. It can be solved, but that is one primary thing that we do encounter. Second thing, in the negative side of it that we do see is that a lot of like loud music or loud noises kind of like programs like parties are taking place, especially in the north.
Yep.
And this again can be regulated, but what happens is a lot of wildlife and a lot of like livelihoods, a lot of people around kind of get affected by the loud noises. So that also kind of like, I would say is the negative aspect of it,
Yep,
but
you're
on the
right on
positive
that.
side.
You're right on that. Actually, 2 days back, I went to one concert of Helen Walker,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
there was so much loud music, and some water birds were kind of passing through that,
Right.
and they
Right.
diverted their path to avoid that concert. So that time
Yeah.
I felt
So
actually effect of the loud sound that has on the wildlife.
it does. It does. And surprisingly, not just the wildlife, we also at many times kind of get affected by loud noises.
Yep.
And at least I kind of get affected very well with loud noises. Like I can't bear it. So you can imagine, like, okay, if you're in a mood of like partying or dancing or going to like a place which has music, it's completely okay. And this comes from a personal experience where I went to one of the shores, and it's a very populated beach. It's called Baga Beach. It's like a very known beach in Goa. Very populated with like beaches. I mean, sorry, with tourists. And what we see is, like, what happened was there was music coming from one shack. So we're like, oh, nice, it's nice. Like, while we are doing this, we can hear music. Suddenly, there are two shacks playing music, two different music. Suddenly, there are six playing all on loud noises. To us, it became noise. Like, we couldn't enjoy, we couldn't hear anything. While we thought we'll take the best of it while we are looking at wildlife, we'll try to listen to music. It became full of noise. So you'll have to go very close to it, very close to a place, and listen to it to kind of understand it, which is what they want. They want people to get attracted, right? But
Yep.
indirectly it is affecting it. And also, a beach can hold certain number of people. So what happens is, when you're not able to hold, like, suppose you're supposed to only hold 500 people on a beach, if you're putting 1,000 or 2,000, it's going to affect the quality of the tourism. It's going to affect the quality of the wildlife. It's going to affect the quality of the beach, and it's also going to affect the quality of the people surrounding it, who are not, you know doing these things. Now, coming to the positive sides, I do want to come to the positive sides also. I mean, I do see like a really good opportunity here when it comes to tourism, because it aids a lot of people. It aids a lot of people's finances, and a lot of people do thrive on it. Especially now, a lot of locals are also getting themselves into it, where they're using Airbnb, or they are using stays, or having shops. So it is quite beneficial for not just locals, but also for the other people who are doing businesses in the tourism sector. And also, another advantage that we do get is that we do get the crowd, or the type of people who are interested in wildlife or in the ecological side of it, coming in through. So though the number is not as high as the ones that you will find who come for partying, or for, you would say, any sort of like fun, like drinking or anything, you do get those kind of people too. And people who are into the nature business, nature education, or ecotourism, or the ones who are doing conservation but they require some financial incentives. So they are able to basically gain something out of this. And these people, because they're coming to Goa and we are able to do these kind of programs, they can then go back home. I mean,
Yep.
so just you and me talking this time, maybe it might be five different people from five different states. It doesn't have to be Goa anymore. So they are coming, and they are not from the sea ocean lakes. They are more inside, they are more landlocked. But they come and they start talking about the wildlife in general. So I would say that it has both its positive pros and cons, and I think that we need to make it a bit more towards the positive sides. So yeah, I mean, there's always room to grow, and there's always room to improve. But I'm sure that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of people's effort, and a lot of people are into it. Like, a lot of people are doing good things when it comes to these things. So
Yep.
I am happy that it's the progress has started.
Yep. It's the good side of the things that motivate us to do the right thing. And
Exactly.
yep. Actually, for the tourism, I went to Sikkim, I think last month, and the state of Sikkim is also like kind of dependent solely on the tourism. So many cabs drivers, so many hotels, and I believe that Goa is
Mm.
also like kind of dependent on business in tourism, and that's really nice thing also. And you mentioned that when so much people come to visit to Goa, they are some interested in nature, some are interested in wildlife, and you get those people senior group from there also, and that's a good side also. So next month on 16th of March, actually, I'm also planning to come to Goa. And
Please do.
one simple question: what are do and don'ts for me as a tourist when I come to Goa?
As a tourist, do's and don'ts is, one thing is that there's a lot of culture in Goa, and a lot of times through tourism, we do end up losing some of this culture. because a lot of people do partying, but Goa is actually beyond like going for parties, going for clubbing. So maybe one thing I would say from culture perspective is maybe you go and you see how the locals have their livelihoods in Goa.
Okay.
It's a very interesting notion. Like there are a lot of companies now doing things like bread making and stories of a village that kind of like brings the essence out of it. So that is one do that I would say you can do. Second thing is maybe you can avoid going to places that might be a bit more what do you say, a bit more like noisy or
Okay.
a bit more like unsustainable. The
Avoid
third,
North Goa.
don't no, I would never say not avoid Goa, because see, that is not a solution. That is only going to just, yeah, that's just going to push things. That's just pushing your problems aside. So
Okay.
yeah, and obviously avoiding, I would say, don't throw waste, or like don't just try to go in a very rash way, like make noises, because that can affect a lot of animals. And the third thing would be is if you're going for any of these things, do this. Make sure you go for ethical wildlife programs or ethical nature education programs, because there are times when you can get both. You can get ethical and non-ethical. The non-ethical side, for example, would be like some kind of programs where they handle animals. Like handling animals is not in the right way.
Okay.
Handling, because they need to be in a right state where they are kept in their own like ecosystem. So handling animals, then yeah, obviously avoiding some sort of activities that might be harmful to either yourself or like any of the wildlife. And do I would say you definitely should come to the shore, because you said you're coming in March, right?
Yes.
Come to the shore and start observing the other marine life that you have besides just like any type of like hotel or shacks. And you will see that you will start enjoying it far more than music.
Yep.
And if you want, I can definitely come and join you, and we can both start looking at wildlife and
Yep.
see cucumbers, which you've not seen right before. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I would say, you know, you can do. And yes, definitely I would say do is definitely try a lot of Goan food. So
Okay.
yeah, so a lot of Goan food,
Is it different?
because you'll get to yes, it is more different because I think there's more coconut, at the same time a bit of Indo-Iberian influence, a little bit of Portuguese influence is there.
Mhm.
And also, yeah, there's a lot of stories behind a lot of sweets and food in Goa. I'm sure there is in every other place, but when you try to eat the food or like try to do various different practices, you will come to know about Goa a bit more than that. You will see how many people have actually like wildlife conservation or wildlife appreciation through these kind of stories.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much for giving detail do and don'ts. I'll take
yeah,
note of that.
sure.
I just want
Hmm.
to give these 10 minutes to you only. I just want to hear from you. What do you
I
want to say?
mean, so I would say there are a lot of things that, are very interesting that are happening. Like we are working on a program where we go and do various programs with tourism stakeholders. So where we kind of teach them about what is the right practices and what's the wrong practices when it comes to, ecotourism or wildlife tourism. And also making sure that some of these protocols by a lot of shacks and shops are followed. For a clear example, like if you have shacks on a beach where turtle nest, lights and sound can affect turtles,
Yep.
so they might not nest, they might go back. So what we do is we try to come up with protocols where we work together, because there's always a middle ground. You cannot go extreme of any end. You have to work so that one, there's a sustainable sort of, what do you say, money coming in for like the operators or the people who are running the shack. But at the same time, they're making sure that the wildlife is getting least harm. So we tell them that we reduce the intensity of light or music, or if after 10 you stop the lights, because the sea turtles usually come after 10, 11. Then along with that, yeah, we do sea turtle nest monitoring, patrolling. So we go on the on beaches all night. We walk about and we look at, whether any turtles nesting. So then basically we will make sure that it's barricaded so that a lot of these animals don't get affected. So along with this, yeah, we do marine walks. So we basically go to various different sites. So today we had a program where there was a swimathon, people swimming for like 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers in the beaches. And while they were swimming, you have a lot of people who came to cheer them. So we were like, why don't we do a marine walk for them? So they go to swim in the sea, but mostly they might know about jellyfishes. Let's go and see various different animals. So we started showing that, we started explaining the story behind it, in a very beautiful way, so that basically a lot of kids that come for the program also are interested, and adults. Then we kind of tell them the emphasis or importance of not collecting shells. So you might be coming to the beaches in Goa, you might also be tempted to collect a seashell.
Yep.
It happens. I used to collect it when I was a small boy. So basically, like a shell, what happens is if you collect it over a period of time, the amount of shells that go from the beaches increases to a lot of numbers, and it becomes harder for the ocean to regulate that calcium. So the ocean doesn't have infinite calcium, or it doesn't get replenished, or it doesn't fill up as quickly as it is getting taken from. So a lot of animals that in the ocean they require calcium, they will not get it.
Yeah, you're
So
right
by
on that.
us being
Yep. Few, I heard that few islands are totally made from the calcium cells in the ocean, and that
yes,
tells us
oh,
how
I can
important are
talk about
these.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is very. And another thing is, I don't know if you know these islands. They have white beaches, sands, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it is also, yeah. So they are actually made. So I don't know if this will gross you out or this will shock you. So we tell these kind of facts because they are very interesting. There is a fish called parrotfish. Okay. So parrotfish eats corals, dead corals, so it cleans a bit of coral and it poops out. So it basically defecates sand, white sand.
Oh,
So all the
I
white
didn't know it.
sand on the beaches in the world is actually poop. It's actually the feces of parrotfishes. So one parrotfish can release up to 450 kilos of sand in 1 year.
In 1 year.
So you can thank, yes.
How
So you
long
can
does it
thank
live?
parrotfishes for this. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it'll live more than 4 5 years. But that is a very cool fact for me. It incites me. So next time
I'm
you
again
see at
right
the
now.
beaches, you know where it's coming from.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So that, and also another cool fact that I tell them, and I'm going to tell you now is, so we breathe, right? So
Yep.
in maybe a minute we are breathing 40, 50 times, or keep 30. So how many times do you think we get air from the land from that 30 breaths?
Mm, one time.
No, not that less also, but okay, that's a
Yes,
very
I have
enthusiastic
heard that
answer.
few like, but I don't know what the we call that. When the Earth formed during the initial phases, there was some organism in the ocean which increased the amount of oxygen in the Earth atmosphere.
Diatoms. That was
Yep.
called a great billion.
Yep.
It
Yep.
increases so much, that the entire planet cooled. It
Yeah.
became a giant solid, became a giant ice for 1 billion years. Correct.
Yeah.
So, I think you got the gist of it. So, because of planktons, because of diatoms, and because of other animals, a lot of our oxygen comes from the ocean. So, almost 60% or even more of our oxygen comes from the ocean.
Okay.
So, from this 30 times, 20 times you were taking air from the ocean.
Yep.
So, we have
Though
this
all the NGOs are like
misconception.
focusing on planting trees over the land, but we
Yes.
also need
So,
to take care of the ocean also. Yep.
yes. And though the ocean might not look like anything, or you might not see anything on top, it's full of life. And also another thing is, this is for like science enthusiasts or people who want to discover things. Our ocean, we have only discovered 20% of our ocean. We
Mm.
know more about the stars. We know more about like what is happening in space than we know what's happening in our waters.
Yep. Yeah.
So I feel like this is something that got me interested in this, and I do try to get more people involved because, again, when it comes to any of this conservation, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to benefiting any of these stakeholders, everyone needs to know what's happening. So a lot of people, the reason why things happen is because they don't understand what is going on. So if you are able to communicate the science with them through science
Yep.
communication, it becomes easier. We have had a lot of progress in beaches like Agonda in South, where it's a full of shacks, and all of them listen. They close their lights, they don't play loud music after 10. They in fact come to help with sea turtle monitoring. So we have seen success in this. We have seen a lot of people listen, understand, start appreciating it, getting some emotions when it comes to emotions evoked. Like you will feel emotional when you hear about these stories, and
Yep.
then you start doing it because, see, nobody is a bad person. It's just that everyone wants to like make money because that is a good way of them sustaining themselves or living their life in a good way. So when you kind of tell them that you need to live a better life so that all of your shacks are not also drowned by increasing levels of climate, you help out with the ocean, you make it more sustainable, and I feel like that helps a lot. So yeah, that's, I
Yeah.
mean, if you are coming to Goa, you can definitely go and meet these people and you
Yep.
can hear their stories too. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
work which you told that you are doing, that's really amazing. And surely when
I try
I'll
my
visit,
best.
yeah, well, we have to try the best at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
When I'll come
I
to Goa,
agree.
then surely I would want to be a part of your awareness programs. And the most amazing
Perfect.
for that you go for sea turtle nest monitoring in the night. So
Yes.
I would be like with a part of that. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. So one heads up, you will have to stay awake all night. We do it
Yeah,
from
I'm
like
okay with
10.
that.
Okay, perfect. And then the best part is after you're done, you can get a very good night's sleep or a
Yeah.
morning sleep. So, that would help, I hope. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are all the time, but it felt really nice talking to you about the Goa culture. And yep, thank
Yeah,
you
and
very much
definitely I would
for.
like to hear from you sometime. I mean, maybe when you're coming, I will not do the talking. I want you to do the talking.
Sure, we'll share our life experiences.
Absolutely. That sounds good. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nestor. Great.
My pleasure. Please be in touch. Anything, let's talk, let's chat. And I'm more than happy to, figure things out. So,